In this episode, Joaquin drops a bombshell on me about the Platinum apartment.
We demo all completely.
And I make a huge mistake that you can learn from to make a lot more money on your next project. Last week, Joaquin, who is my architect, called me up and he said that he wanted me to go over immediately and see him at the Platinum apartment. Whenever he says that I need to go over there immediately, that's rarely good news. And he said, listen, I've got a crazy idea. I want to completely demo the social bathroom.
Demo this wall completely to here, and then all completely this thing.
To give us more space in the living room and dining area going back to the kitchen.
So your living area is from here to here. You have the line here and your wall is here. So that's the reason I'm thinking like a niche. So we have a clean wall here. Because then when you go inside, then you see that corner. So you have here your dining and then you see that wall with all the niche.
Initially, I was skeptical. Obviously, more space is good. You want as open an area as possible when you're dealing with a living space and a kitchen. But we're going to demo the social bathroom. And then where would you put the social bathroom?
The social bathroom we put here, in this space.
We were going to have this huge shower for the second bedroom. And he showed me this plan where if we cut in a door from the side.
From here.
You put a door right
Exactly. Here. You put a door here. You only need the toilet and the sink.
He would turn that shower into a more normal size shower because right now it's huge.
So your shower is this thing here, like to here.
And he would use that space as just a small social bath. It doesn't need to be anything big or extravagant. So the space would actually work. What's really challenging with the Platinum apartment is it's completely asymmetrical. So if we take and demo that social bath all the way over to the wall on the left-hand side.
Your wall is here, but if you want to make the same line, we need to make something to here. So to have a clean.
It would definitely make the space feel a lot bigger.
Exactly, yes. So the only that I don't like too much is we need to make like here, like a.
But then you've got this weird gap. So the only way to get this to line up so it's easy on the eye is to demo this wall only over to a specific point.
That is the line of the wall,
this
divided wall. This to here. So when you go inside, you have like this hallway, and then you see all open.
One of the first projects that Joaquin and I did here, we had this really cool wine rack under the staircase where we used this slate stone and these iron rods that came down, and we underlit it with LED lights and put them on a dimmer. So at night it was spectacular. And I said, it just dawned on me. I said, well, let's just turn it into a wine rack. So I think the next thing for me to do is render this.
Yes, render this, we see that. Now that if we make the renders, they can start working in this.
Okay. What I want you to learn from this is you always remodel based on the render. You always do that, because a lot of times you come back in and you see it after they've done the work and it doesn't look as good as it did in your imagination. And we just build to fit that picture. But you need to have a little bit of flexibility with that. A lot of times you think, you know what, it would be better if we did this. And that's what Joaquin, that's the idea that he had, and this is a perfect example of that. But I said, okay, I think this is a good idea. I'm 90% there, but let's have Julio, who's our render guy, let's have him do a render of this so we can actually see it. And then once we see it, then we'll go ahead and approve it. You want to have a very structured plan at the beginning, but don't be too rigid to where you can't make changes along the way. But if you do make changes, make sure that you do a render first, and then if you like the render, and once not only you sign off on it, but whomever else is in your team, then you go ahead and start demoing everything and turning a social bath into a wine rack. The second big event of last week is I got a call from an investor buddy of mine. His name is Drew. He's from Los Angeles, and he's down here buying property. He actually came down here about a month ago and purchased a property that Joaquin showed him. And it's actually a property that I looked at about 3 or 4 months ago and I passed on. It was an area outside of where I typically do business. I normally like to do things within walking distance of a couple main points here in Medellin. But this was a really cheap apartment, so I went out there and I didn't really see the value initially, but Drew came in there and he saw what I didn't. So this is a story about a mistake that I may have made, something I just didn't see that someone else saw. More specifically, they're building a tunnel coming in from the airport.
Not to play me anymore though, because the new tunnel from here is like 15 minutes. Yeah. So it's just as easy for me to get to the airport from here now.
Yeah. In the past, the airport was about a 45-minute drive from downtown Medellin. And they built a new tunnel going directly to the airport that turned that 45 minutes into about 15 minutes. So he saw this as really a long-term play. He's looking at to remodel this, live in it, and then keep it for 5 to 10 years. I look for more short-term stuff. I do more flips. So he has a little bit different time horizon. So that's probably a better lesson, is understanding as an investor what your time horizon is, what your goals are, and then adjusting what you're looking for around what your investment strategy is and around what your goals are.
But the key thing is down here, the view's never going to be obstructed. That's the key thing.
Yeah, they're not going to build over that.
And most they could do is probably tear down stuff here and rebuild here, but that's not
that wouldn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a project they're going to do a better here, but it's not right? Big. It's not too big. So this is completely changed. Probably 5 years this is all developed and is.
That's a big deal too, because I don't think many people that actually have a view now realize that their view in the next 10 years is probably not going to be there.
Yeah.
That's why the other day someone asked me that, and I actually told them that I don't mind, actually prefer buying apartments without a view.
Yeah.
Because you're already getting the discount for no view. Or if you buy something with a view and they build, then you're taking a big hit.
Yeah, and they're just not going to do anything because this is a major street, so they can't.
Yeah,
that's going to stay.
And they'd have to have setbacks too. He got this amazing property. It's a 2-level penthouse, and it has literally the highest ceilings I think I've ever seen in my life. How high is a normal ceiling, like in the river apartment?
Normally ceiling is 210.
And how high do you have to that line?
That line is 2.46.
Yeah.
2.46. But in the middle we make more higher. But
what's really incredible is the height of the ceiling, not only from here to here, but from when you're down there. I mean, that is massive. That's got to be 30 feet. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen ceilings that high. Generally, on a 2-story like this, you've got, vaulted ceilings, of course, but it's vaulted to the lower beam because that top is flat. Here you've got like double vaulted.
Yeah.
That's really incredible. You walk in and you just look up and you're just, whoa. So we've got these high ceilings. Joaquin came in there, of course, with renders, and he showed these renders to Drew to make sure that Drew could kind of see the visual plan that Joaquin had for every single room. The new floor plan that Joaquin designed is you walk right into the front door, the window on your right, they're going to try to open that up if they can get approval from the HOA. Then straight back is going to be your kitchen. They're going to demo that wall with the green stuff on it, I think it's wallpaper. And then that terrace on your right-hand side, that is going to be an extension of the kitchen. It's a really, really neat plan.
We're going to knock this wall too, so you can see from the kitchen into here as well, but it's all glass.
And then when you go back on your left, they're going to turn that into a giant guest room. And then in the back corner, they're going to have a playroom where they're going to have pool tables. It's going to be a movie studio. And then they're going to have the social bath between the kitchen and that playroom. And you go up the stairs, and they're going to make that like a floating staircase. And then that opens up to this huge master suite, I guess you want to call it that. He's turning the entire second floor into this master bedroom. Listen to this. He not only is putting in a jacuzzi right in front of his bed, but he's also putting in this $2,000 to $3,000 soaking tub in the bathroom in addition to the jacuzzi. This place is going to be the penthouse of all penthouses. Drew was really happy. He loves Joaquin's designs. I saw Joaquin's designs myself, and I think he just knocked the cover off the ball. They should probably start demo here in about 2 or 3 months. So what's really exciting about that is Drew is going to allow us to film the entire process of his remodel. So now on this vlog, you'll not only be following the progress and learning from the things that we do day to day and week to week in the Platinum apartment and in the art apartment, but we're also going to add this amazing 2-story penthouse into the mix. So you're going to be able to follow along with that step by step, and you're going to be able to learn everything by watching us as we actually execute on another remodel. I'm really excited about that, not only for me to see it, but also for you guys, the viewers.